Hello and welcome to my channel. I hope you enjoy this story. I'm going to try and upload a new story each day. The Forgotten Folio. Holly Arnold had always been fascinated by rare books, an obsession that began in childhood when she first discovered her grandfather's hidden library. The dusty tomes filled with ancient knowledge transported her to distant worlds and times. As she grew older, this passion evolved into a career, and Holly became a respected rare book collector. Her reputation was impeccable, known for unearthing hidden treasures and acquiring them for discerning clients. One crisp autumn morning, Holly received a call from an elderly woman named Mrs. Thorne, who claimed to possess a folio unlike any other. Intrigued by the woman's description, Holly agreed to meet her at her home on the Isle of Wight. Mrs. Thorne's voice carried a tremor of urgency that Holly couldn't ignore. Holly arrived at the quaint cottage, nestled between ancient oak trees and overgrown ivy. The air was thick with the scent of decaying leaves and salt from the nearby sea. Mrs. Thorne, a frail figure with silver hair and piercing blue eyes, welcomed her with a sense of desperation. "Thank you for coming, Miss Arnold," Mrs. Thorne said, her voice a fragile whisper. "The folio, it has brought nothing but misfortune to my family. I must rid myself of it before it's too late." She led Holly to a small, dimly lit study. There, on an ornate oak desk, lay the folio. Bound in weathered leather, the book emanated an unsettling aura. Holly's fingers tingled with anticipation as she reached for it. "It's called the Forgotten Folio," Mrs. Thorne explained. "It is said to be cursed, containing dark rituals and forbidden knowledge. Many who have owned it have met dreadful fates." Holly's curiosity overpowered any sense of caution. She opened the folio, revealing pages filled with intricate illustrations and cryptic texts. The smell of ancient parchment filled the room. As Holly delved into its contents, she felt an inexplicable connection, as if the book was speaking directly to her. Days turned into weeks as Holly immersed herself in the folio. Each page unveiled a new layer of arcane rituals and esoteric symbols. She discovered references to an ancient entity known as the Whisperer, a being capable of granting unimaginable power in exchange for a soul. The idea was ludicrous, yet Holly found herself unable to dismiss it. One night, under the pale light of a full moon, Holly decided to perform one of the rituals. She followed the instructions meticulously, drawing a circle of salt and lighting black candles around it. Chanting the incantations from the folio, she felt a chill wash over her, and the room grew unnaturally cold. The shadows in the room seemed to come alive, coalescing into a dark, formless mass at the center of the circle. Holly's heart pounded as she faced the entity she had summoned. "I'm the Whisperer," the entity intoned, its voice a haunting blend of whispers. "You seek power, Holly Arnold, but are you prepared to pay the price?" Holly hesitated, the weight of her decision pressing down on her. The allure of knowledge and power was irresistible, yet the cost was her very soul. Before she could respond, the entity began to laugh, a sound that echoed through the room like nails on a chalkboard. "You are not the first to seek me, and you will not be the last," the Whisperer said. "But remember, every wish granted comes with a price." Over the following days, Holly began to notice unsettling changes. Her reflection in the mirror seemed to distort, her eyes growing darker, her skin paler. Nightmares plagued her sleep, visions of tormented souls and unending darkness. She realized too late that the Whisperer was slowly consuming her, feeding off her desire for power. Determined to break free, Holly sought out Mrs. Thorne, hoping for guidance. The old woman listened with a sorrowful expression, her eyes filled with pity. "The folio is a trap," Mrs. Thorne said. "It ensnares those who seek its power and binds them to the whisper. The only way to break the curse is to destroy the book." Holly returned to her home, the folio clutched tightly in her hands. As she prepared to burn it, the Whisperer's voice echoed in her mind, taunting her with promises of limitless power. Her resolve wavered, but she knew what had to be done. She threw the folio into the fireplace, watching as the flames consumed it. The room filled with an acrid smoke, and Holly felt a searing pain in her chest. The Whisperer's screams echoed in her mind, growing fainter as the book turned to ash. As the last page crumbled, the oppressive presence lifted, and Holly felt a sense of relief wash over her. But the damage was done. Her encounter with the Whisperer had left her changed. haunted by the knowledge she had gained and the darkness she had glimpsed. Years passed, and Holly retired from her career, choosing to live a quiet life on the Isle of Wight. The folio's curse had been broken, but its legacy lingered, a reminder of the dangers of seeking forbidden knowledge. And though she had escaped the Whisperer's grasp, Holly knew that the darkness would always be a part of her, a shadow that could never be fully erased. In the end, Holly's story became a cautionary tale among rare book collectors, a warning of the perils that lay hidden within the pages of ancient tomes. The Forgotten Folio was gone, but its legend lived on, a testament to the battle between human curiosity and the dark forces that sought to consume it. Years turned to decades, and the story of Holly Arnold and the Forgotten Folio became a whisper among those who dabbled in their cult and collected rare books. The folio was believed to be destroyed, its curse lifted, but stories of its dark power and the fate of those who sought it out continued to circulate. One cold winter evening, a young scholar named Emily Hayes found herself in a dimly lit antiquarian bookstore on the Isle of Wight. Emily was a historian, passionate about uncovering forgotten histories and piecing together the past. She had heard the rumors of Holly Arnold and the cursed folio, but dismissed them as mere folklore. The bookstore was a labyrinth of shelves, filled with ancient texts and curiosities from every corner of the world. As Emily perused the collection, a strange sense of déjà vu washed over her. In a secluded corner, tucked behind a stack of old manuscripts, she found an unmarked leather-bound book. Its cover was worn and cracked, but it seemed to pulse with an eerie energy. With trembling hands, Emily opened the book. The pages were filled with intricate illustrations and cryptic texts, remarkably similar to the descriptions she had read about the Forgotten Folio. Her heart raced as she realized what she had stumbled upon. The folio had somehow survived. Despite the warnings and the stories, Emily couldn't resist the pull of the forbidden knowledge contained within the book. She purchased the folio and hurried back to her small cottage, eager to explore its contents. The air was thick with anticipation as she set up her workspace, surrounded by candles and ancient artifacts. As she delved into the folio, Emily felt a strange connection to the book, just as Holly had years before. The rituals and symbols seemed to come alive on the pages, whispering secrets of power and knowledge. She read about the Whisper, the entity that had tormented Holly, and the dark rituals that could summon it. Ignoring the growing sense of dread, Emily decided to attempt one of the simpler rituals. She followed the instructions carefully, drawing a circle of salt and lighting black candles around it. As she chanted the incantations, the temperature in the room plummeted, and shadows began to twist and writhe. A dark, formless figure emerged from the shadows, its presence filling the room with an oppressive weight. Emily's breath caught in her throat as she faced the Whisperer. Another seeker of forbidden knowledge, the Whisper intoned, its voice a haunting melody of whispers. "What is it that you desire, Emily Hayes?" Emily's mind raced. She had read about the consequences of dealing with the Whisperer, but the promise of power and knowledge was intoxicating. She hesitated, torn between her curiosity and the fear of what might come. I seek knowledge," Emily said finally, her voice trembling. "I want to understand the secrets of the past, to uncover truths that have been hidden for centuries." The Whisper laughed, a sound that echoed like distant thunder. "Knowledge comes at the price, Emily Hayes. Are you willing to pay it?" Emily nodded, though doubt gnawed at her. The Whisperer extended a shadowy tendril, touching her forehead. A searing pain shot through her, and her vision blurred. She saw flashes of ancient civilizations, dark rituals, and forbidden secrets. The knowledge she craved flooded her mind, overwhelming her senses. As quickly as it had begun, the vision ceased. Emily collapsed to the floor, gasping for breath. The Whisper loomed over her, its presence a constant reminder of the pact she had made. "Remember, Emily Hayes," the Whisper said. "Every wish granted comes with a price." Days turned into weeks, and Emily found herself consumed by the knowledge she had gained. Her research became more intense, her obsession growing with each passing day. She uncovered secrets that had been lost to time, but at a terrible cost. The darkness that had touched her soul began to take its toll, manifesting in strange and terrifying ways. She started seeing shadows move in the corners of her vision, hearing whispers in the dead of night. Her reflection in the mirror grew more distorted, her eyes darker and her skin paler. The nightmares that plagued her sleep were filled with visions of tormented souls and unending darkness. The whisper's influence was growing stronger, consuming her bit by bit. Desperate to escape the entity's grasp, Emily sought out the one person who might understand her plight, Holly Arnold. She tracked Holly down to a secluded cottage on the outskirts of the Isle of Wight. Holly, now an elderly woman, welcomed Emily with a mixture of pity and understanding. "I know what you're going through," Holly said, her voice weary. "The folio's curse is relentless. The only way to free yourself is to destroy the book." Emily nodded, the weight of her decision pressing down on her. Together, they built a bonfire in Holly's garden, the flames dancing in the cold night air. As Emily threw the folio into the fire, she felt a sense of relief and fear. The whisperer's voice echoed in her mind, a final, haunting laugh as the book turned to ash. With the folio destroyed, Emily felt the oppressive presence lift. The shadows that had haunted her began to recede, and the whispers grew fainter. But like Holly, she knew that the encounter with the whisperer had left a permanent mark on her soul. Emily returned to her life, determined to use the knowledge she had gained for good. She continued her research, uncovering lost histories and sharing them with the world. The story of the Forgotten Folio became a part of her legacy, a cautionary tale about the dangers of seeking forbidden knowledge. And though the folio was gone, its legend lived on. The whisperer remained a shadow in the corners of Emily's mind, a reminder of the darkness that lurked within the pages of ancient tomes. She knew that the battle between curiosity and dark forces would never truly end, and that the price of knowledge was one that she would always carry with her. Years later, a new generation of rare book collectors and scholars would hear the tale of Holly Arnold and Emily Hayes. They would speak of the Forgotten Folio in hushed tones, warning of the entity that could be summoned through its pages. And somewhere, in the shadows, the whisper would wait, ready to tempt those who dared to seek its power. Thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed this story. Please don't forget to like, and even better, like and subscribe. Thank you very much, and I hope you have had or have a great day.